Welcome to the Postgame show. I'm your host, Tommy. This is the Mafia Sports Report, and that is the end of the Buffalo Bills season. The 2025 season is over with, folks. No Mikey today, just me. Not that Mikey didn't want to be here, but he had family over, and unfortunately, Mikey won't be joining us today. But I'm here. I'm here like I always am, win or lose. I'm sure we're gonna get some trolls in here. We're gonna get some happy Bronco fans, which is well deserved, by the way. Congratulations to the Denver Broncos. They did what they had to do, and they defeated the Buffalo Bills there in overtime, 33-30. I told you guys it was going to be a close game either way. I had the Bills winning by 4, but I did say, the Bills could lose as well. But I did tell you guys it would be close, and unfortunately for the Bills, things didn't go their way. I gotta say though, the refs, and I normally don't criticize the refs too much. I thought there was two terrible calls at the end of that game by the refs. Also, Josh Allen did not get the help from his receivers. Brandon Cooks with the drop basically did not complete the completion to the ground. It intercepted. Also, before that play, McCall Hardman had it right in his hands, dropped the ball. And then, of course, the defense needed to make another stand, and they did not make a stand when needed. And we got a lot of work to do, folks, in the offseason. We got a lot of work to do in the offseason. We got to get Allen real help. If this is not a game where that shows that, with receivers dropping the ball the way they did at the end of the game there, I mean, if McCall Hardman comes down with that catch, guys, we're in field goal range, we win the game. Right? I mean, it's as simple as that. Allen didn't play perfect today. Obviously, he had some really, terrible turnovers. But at the end of the day, man, Allen did his job really at the end. It was receivers that weren't doing theirs. So very unfortunate. The defense let us down there at the end. And they had a meltdown, really. Let's get to some of your chat real quick. Fire the whole fucking staff. 9 years and still nothing. And I'm sure, we're going to get some people in here like Steve Lynn that wants McDermott fired, and I'm one of them. Steve, you got your wish. We lost. There you go. The Buffalo Bills lose. That you were cheering for this, and you got your wish. So the Buffalo Bills lose, but guess what, Steve? Unfortunately, the Bills or Terry Bagula are not going to fire Sean McDermott. For as much as I want it, him to be fired, for as much as Cali Blitz, for as much as everybody else that's on board with getting rid of McDermott, he's not going anywhere. It's unfortunate, but that's why I'm not going to boo this team. I'm never going to want this team to fail. But I'm with you. I'm with you, Cali Bills. I'm with you, a lot of you guys. Fire everyone. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's heartbreak. Yeah, Smitty, it's never good to go out like that, but listen, as Bills fans, we're tough skinned, right? This is it happens, man. It happens, and it happens a lot to the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately. Trey White's not overpaid, bro. He was on a cheap contract, so I don't know about that. Trey White actually, look, man, Trey White, I'm not going to blame Trey White on that, man. I'm not. He was pissed off, and rightfully so. That was a bullshit call. That was a bullshit call by the refs. But that's not why we lost the game. At the end of the day, I'm just venting my frustration. I did not like those calls there at the end. 2 pass interference calls were bogus, in my opinion. Now, however, the first pass interference, they still would have got 15 yards because that was a late hit. Or that was a roughing the passer on Joey Bosa. We kind of honestly, the defense kind of melted away there. And when we needed them to step up, they didn't, unfortunately. So I'm not going to put this totally on the defense. Obviously, the offense is big time to blame with the amount of turnovers they had in this game. Allen wasn't his best performance at all. I didn't think he was awful by any means, but he needs help. He needs help, and James Cook fumbling the ball. He needs the next year. He needs to stop putting the ball on the ground. And he was great all year, but fumbling the ball 7 times this season, most by any running back. Can't have that happen. Fuck the Broncos. Yeah, look, man, the Broncos beat us fair and square, man. I mean, at the end of the day, they did what they had to do. Pass interference on Lewis was absolutely dog shit. It was bad call. And I do love my team, no matter what. Look, guys, at the end of the day, man, I love my team, man. I'm never gonna jump ship, bro. Never gonna jump ship. You guys can do what you want to do. You can fan how you want to fan. I know you're not happy with the coaching, and I'm not either. But I don't know if they're going to do anything about it, and that's a problem. But end of the day, man, the Bills got a lot of work to do this offseason. And Brandon Beane, you got your plate full, and you got to decide what you're going to do here because Josh needs help. Cali Bills, fuck the refs. Yeah, the refs. I thought the refs I thought they did a poor job. And honestly, too, that Brandon Cooks catch or not catch, whatever you want to call it, very interesting. I got to be honest with you, that was very close, man. I get the rules, but it looked like a catch to me. He fell down on him. Wouldn't that be down by contact? But apparently not. I don't understand that ruling there. But if that's what they say, is the rule, then we're gonna have to just go by it. How many turnovers did Josh have? Cook turns over the ball. They had his number today. Yeah, dude. Listen, it wasn't his greatest performance. I didn't think it was his worst ever. But he did some uncharacteristic things today, right? 2 interceptions today. He had a fumble as well. James Cook had a fumble as well. But look, outside of Shakir, we got nothing from our receivers today. Nothing. And I'm talking receivers. Kincaid came up pretty big today, 6 for 83, which I kind of had a feeling he would. Shakir had 7 for 75. Kudos to Shakir. But outside of that, man, Brandon Cooks, 2 for 20. Keon Coleman, 1 for 10. No show. McCall Hardman, 1 for 4. Had an opportunity to make catch. Curtis Samuel, the biggest waste of money ever. 1 for 2 yards. 1 for 2 yards. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy that this is what we send out on the field for Josh Allen, right? And then we wonder why Josh is pressing, why Josh is doing uncharacteristic things, right? Trying to make something out of nothing. And I'm not saying he's not to blame. Josh is definitely, he did some dumb shit today, right? Especially in the end of the first half. That was really dumb. But you got to get the dude help, man. Cook needs to catch that fucking ball. Yeah, Cooks does. Cooks. And the play before. I mean, it hit him right. McCall Hardman should have had that ball. We would have been in field goal range. Same with Brandon Cooks. Like, it's plays like that, guys. Denver came up big when they needed to, right? And we didn't. What up, Miles? Unreal. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Look, it's football, guys. Like, it happens, right? It's you're in the playoffs. There is no tomorrow. You can't afford to turn the ball over that many times and expect to win. And what did I tell you guys about leading at halftime, about the turnovers? If we lead at halftime, we're in great shape. If we limit the turnovers, we're in great shape. We did neither. We trailed at half. We lost a turnover battle today. That's a recipe for disaster. And that's the reason why we lost today, right? If you look at the whole season, when trailing at half, we are now 4-6 altogether, including the playoffs. You're not gonna. It's not good, right? And yeah, I mean that's mainly the reason why we lost, guys, is turnovers and getting out the gate slow. Well, I guess my Bills need to get serious about getting more wide receiver help. Absolutely. And I'm trying to catch up to your chat, guys. There's a lot of you guys in here right now, about 400 of you. So bear with me a little bit, and I'll get to them, I promise. Too many mistakes, unfortunately, don't deserve to win. Absolutely. You know what? I totally agree. And you're not going to win many games like that. Like, I'm shocked that we were even in the situation we were in with that many turnovers, right? And we still had the opportunity to win the game. if guys could actually catch the ball, right? Let's be honest here, guys. Josh Allen at the end there in overtime gave our receivers opportunities, and they failed to execute. They failed to catch the ball. All they had to do, one of those guys, either one catches the ball thrown their way, we're in field goal range, we go ahead and win the game. Game over, right? The defense did their job to start the overtime. Bills get the ball. All we had to do is score a field goal there. We walk off, we win. And unfortunately, guys did not step up when needed. And that's really been a big issue here in Buffalo too. A reason why in the Kansas City games, why we lost those battles with Kansas City in the playoffs. Kansas City guys stepped up, players stepped up. Our players did not, right? It's not about one guy, right? It's a team effort, right? And today, the team failed. The team failed. So I'm not going to put this on Allen. I'm not going to put this on, solely on McDermott. Honestly, guys, I think this is a total team loss. I think the offense made mistakes. I think the defense made mistakes today. Listen, the defense gave up 33 points today. We're talking about a defensive-minded head coach that still doesn't have our defense playing at a high level in year 9. And we're going on year 10 next season, and we're still having these issues with defense. By the way, the Joey Bosa signing now, what do you guys think about it? I thought Joey Bosa played fine this season. I didn't think he played great. I thought he played good. But I got to be honest with you, in the playoffs, where is the reason why we signed him? Right? Was he worth it now? Was he worth the signing now? Did he really step up when needed? I would say no, right? Like, he wasn't terrible, but did he step up? Did he make a big play? Was he, you know what I mean? Was he impactful? And I would say no. Look, the Bills also have to go out there and find an edge, right? Not just a receiver. There's holes. There's glaring holes. We got to figure out a CB2, right? Is it going to be Harrison next year? Maybe. The guy's already had 2 injuries already, rookie year. That's not a good sign. I would bring back Trey, but he's only going to be here another year if they do, maybe 2. So guys, we got a lot of flaws on this team, more than just receiver. So yeah, man, it's going to be another grueling offseason. I'll be here. Mikey will be here. And, it's tough. These losses are definitely tough. But I've grown to them. I got tough skin. I've been doing this podcast for a while now. And yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I got that a long time ago, man, off Amazon, but yeah, she loves it. Worst receivers ever. I agree. No help at all. From our receivers today. 0. And how about Keon Coleman today, huh? Garbage, trash. Dude, guys, I was fine with them drafting Keon Coleman. I take that back. I don't know, man. I don't know if the guy, look, he still has an opportunity maybe somewhere else to rebound in his career. Maybe he lost his confidence somewhere on this team when he got benched, but he's just a no-show. He's a no-show almost every week, and you got to move on. You got to move on from Keon. You got to move on from Curtis Samuel. You got to move on. Honestly, I try to move on from Palmer. If you have to take the hit on the cap, you take the hit. We're not going to get anything from a trade. You got to totally flush out the wide receiver room, except for Khalil Shakir. I love Khalil Shakir, by the way. Khalil Shakir is our best option right now, but he's a slot, right? We need a vertical threat. We need a true number one. The time, I'm done. I'm done with this fucking around thing. Everybody eats bullshit that they try to sell us on. It's bullshit, right? It was a marketing campaign, a marketing slogan. Sorry. it was bullshit. All right. And I think we all knew that after year one. And yet they still went into year two thinking we could still grab some Dollar Tree wide receivers and maybe we can make it work, right? Joshua Palmer, they went down to Walmart in the clearance section, so they went a little bit better than Dollar Tree for him, but even that winded up being a big bust, right? He was on clearance for a reason. So just bad. Tommy, forget about it. We ain't never going to see a Super Bowl no matter how you slice it or dice it. Look, man, you might be right. I don't know. But I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here rooting for my team no matter what. Look, man, I'll say it. I'll say it again, man. I never jump ship, man. I'm not going to tell you guys how to fan. I'm not going to tell you guys, to stop believing or whatever you want to do. That's up to you. I'm just telling you as a fan of sports, of my sport teams in general. I'm a Pistons fan. I'm a Buffalo fan. I'm a Tigers fan. Miami Hurricanes. All right. Hopefully the U can give me something on Monday to make up for this. But I don't jump ship, man. I don't. I refuse to. And it is what it is, man. While I'm here on Earth, I'll continue to root for my team. I'll continue to have hope and belief, and I'll continue to be here with you guys. So, once again, it sucks that we're here. It sucks that we're talking Buffalo Bills soon to be off-season talk starting next week. But that's just the case, man. I thought Denver's offense sputtered in that second half. I thought our defense really stepped up. But in overtime, our defense cracked. And, it was bound to happen. So it was a weird kind of game, guys. I'll give credit to our defense, for having a much better second half, but they didn't show up in overtime. I'll give credit to our offense for a much better second half, or at least after that turnover to start the second half, they got rolling. But once again, in overtime, when we needed plays, when we needed guys to step up, nobody stepped up. Nobody caught the ball. Doesn't it remind you guys of last year when Kincaid had an opportunity to come down with a crucial catch and he didn't? Right? How many times are we going to talk about guys not coming down with a crucial catch? Right? 2 back-to-back throws, opportunities there that were dropped. Can't have it. You're not going to win many games like that with receivers dropping the ball. It's tough, man. And then, of course, obviously the turnovers. Like, we gave them, 6 points, right? Like 3 before the half, 3 at the beginning of the second half. Like, we were just giving them points. That was also unacceptable. You'll have to stop calling your team trash. Yeah, Christy. Yeah, absolutely. But you got to remember, Christy, everyone's going to fan how they want to fan. And I respect that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys not to be upset, not to be mad. You guys can call the team whatever you want to call the team. We weren't trash. I told you guys this game would be close. I told you every game, if we made it, let's say we win this game, we go on to the next round. The game would have been a very back and forth game no matter who we played. It just kind of seems that was the way it was this year with our team. Very back and forth. We really didn't steamroll anybody for the most part. We didn't get steamrolled either, right? We were in every single game. I'll say this about the Buffalo Bills this year. There's a couple positive things, but the main thing I'll say positive about this team was they had fight, okay? They were never out of it. They always fought to the very end. They didn't just lay down, and take it, right, when trailing. Even in this game, things were not looking good at one point. And the Buffalo Bills clawed, scratched their way back, right? They did everything they can. They fought. So I give them that. I give them their dues for that. But you shouldn't have to do that through the course of a season. It was like almost every game we were just, it was down to the wire, it seemed like, right? or we were trailing. We just never had a really clean kind of game. Maybe against the Jets, right? Bad team like that. But against the better teams, we always seem to have, a difficult time, right? Or we were trailing. Things got to get fixed, man. Joe Brady, I hope he leaves. I think he will. I thought he did a very poor job altogether this season. I did not like the way he schemed things up. Even in this game at times, I thought he was very predictable on first down. How many times are you going to run James Cook up the middle on first down? In overtime, what are you doing? Why are you running James Cook up the middle? The Denver Broncos were all over that. And yet it was a waste of a down. Like a total waste of a down. For me, it's overtime there. You leave the ball in Josh Allen's hand, right? That's it. You let him make a play. Let him make the plays, right? And unfortunately, on second and third down, our receivers couldn't make plays for him. But my point is, you're wasting a first down run for no yards. Why? Right? Why are you doing that? It made no sense. And once again, Joe Brady, very predictable. Very predictable. I didn't think he called a bad game. There was some really good play calling in this game by Joe Brady. So I'm not going to totally dog him. But I think as a whole, this season, I was not impressed at all by Joe Brady. I'm ready to move on. I'm hoping we move on from him. I think he does wind up getting a job somewhere as a head coach. But let's see who we bring in, right? Do we bring in anybody that's, are we going to promote somebody within? My guess, yes. Which, yeah, not saying, God bless Bo Nix, go Bills fan. Okay, we got a Denver brand. Hey, look, man, congrats, man. I don't know if you heard a troll or not, but I'm here win or lose, bro. You know what I mean? I told you guys that. Any Denver fans. Bo Nix did his thing at the end there, but I wasn't overly impressed, and I'm not knocking him. But he did what he had to do to win. The Denver Broncos did what they had to do to win. But don't act like you guys kicked our ass, right? That was a close game. It was overtime, right? Like, let's be real. If we make a couple of those catches down there in overtime, we may be, talking a different story. You may not even be in the chat right now, right? Because your team lost. So let's be real here. Let's be, right? Be humble, right? You know what I'm saying? The game came down to the very end. And congratulations, Denver fans. It is what it is. You guys came up with bigger plays when it mattered the most down the stretch. So, but don't act like you ran shot on us. Like you did something. You just tore us up. You were at home. You had basically a bye week. Still no excuse, but we played you as good as we could, especially with us shooting ourselves in the foot with fumbles and interceptions and just dumb shit on our end. But yeah, man, you guys won the turnover battle. You guys were leading at halftime. You did everything right, and we did everything wrong. And that's really the end result. Your guys made plays when needed. Ours did not. So congratulations once again. I'm very curious who you guys wind up playing in the AFC Championship game. I can't wait for tomorrow's game. No, Allen's not going anywhere. Josh Allen's going to retire Buffalo Bill. I hope he wins one here, man. But unfortunately, with Sean McDermott, I don't know if that's going to happen with a defensive-minded head coach that can't get his defense right, that wants a style of offense that just doesn't suit Josh Allen. They didn't want a true one for Josh Allen because the Stephon Diggs experiment. McDermott didn't want another guy like that. On the team, which is ridiculous. You got to have playmakers. You have to have playmakers in this league on your team. If you want to succeed, you can't. This isn't about one person, right? Of course, you want the best quarterback, and of course, having the best quarterback, on your team helps, right? Of course, it does, right? But once again, he can't catch the ball. He can't pass protect, right? He can't play defense. He can't call. He's not calling the plays, right? There's a lot that goes to it, and that's why every quarterback in the NFL needs help. They all need help. And if you don't supply that help, it doesn't matter how great your quarterback is. He's going to start pressing. He's going to start making mistakes. And you saw it today. And actually, you saw it during the course of the season. Josh Allen had way more turnovers than he had over the last 2 seasons, right? There's a reason for that, right? He was trying to play hero ball again. He was trying to put everything on his back and carry the team, and it's just not how it works, folks, right? This isn't boxing. This isn't golf. This isn't a one-man sport, right? This is a team, the ultimate team sport, and you need everybody doing their job out there. And unfortunately for the Buffalo Bills this season, we didn't have that, right? Now they fought as best as they could. They got to the division game. They took this team into overtime on the road. You got to give them some love for that. But at the end of the day, I said this about this Buffalo Bills team. This might have been the worst Buffalo Bills offense, I would say, I've seen since 2019 going into the playoffs. And that's totally legit, right? That was probably the worst surrounding Josh Allen. And that's even with James Cook having the year he had. So you're not going to win many games with that. All you losers that just accept the fact that we are going to continue with mediocrity with this fucking coach and GM are just as much to blame. Are you talking to me, bro? Matt, bro. I think you've been watching me for a little while. I hope you're not talking to me or whatever. I hope you're really not calling out people on the chat. That's a little unfair, Matt. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. I know you're upset, but no one's a loser because they feel how they want to feel. That's one. Two, if you watch me, know me, and if you've seen me before, you understand that I have always, or at least for the past, at least 3+ seasons, wanted Sean McDermott gone. After the 13-second game, I was done with him. So I definitely agree with your take, but if people don't feel the same way I feel, it doesn't make them a loser, right? You know what I mean? We're not a loser franchise, right? We're still a good team, but what do we want, Matt? We want greatness, and I agree with you, right? And that's my biggest take from everything, is I don't want to just be good. I want to be great. I want to go to a Super Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl. And I'm with you, Matt. I don't think that's going to happen with Sean McDermott. And unfortunately, Matt, it's not about the fans. It's not about what we want or what we say. It's about what Terry Pegula thinks. And if Terry Pegula thinks Sean McDermott's a good coach, it doesn't matter how much I bitch. It doesn't matter how much you bitch. It doesn't matter how much national media thinks Sean McDermott should be fired. Doesn't matter. The owner has the say. And if the owner thinks he's doing a great job, then guess what? Sean McDermott's not going anywhere, right? But once again, that doesn't make anyone a loser because maybe they disagree or maybe they like Sean McDermott. I don't know. It's just an opinion. I'm with you. I agree with you on that take. I think honestly, McDermott and staff need to go. I would fire everyone except for Cromer. But it's just not going to happen. I think that's the reality that have accepted. And that's why, look, I'm just going to cheer on my team. I'm never going to stop doing that. And that's not me being a loser. All right. That's just me loving the Buffalo Bills like I have since 1989. But if you don't want to root for the Bills, I get it. Right. If you're done, you're going, that's it. Fuck them. I don't want to watch them anymore. They're trash. Whatever you want to feel, that's up to you. It's your right. But I'm not going to do that. That's not what I do. I've never done that. It is what it is. But I wouldn't. I don't totally agree with your take here. And pussy mentality, losing pussy mentality like that. It's a little harsh, bro. It's not a losing mentality. It's the reality of it. We lost the game. We lost in the playoffs again. It sucks. It hurts, right? It's bullshit. I'm fucking pissed too, right? I hate that McDermott's going to probably go into another year. I know he is, as our head coach. Matter of fact, I think he's going to get extended, right? His contract ends the end of 2027. I think McDermott's here to stay for even longer. So how about that? So I'm just, look, it is what it is. I have to accept it. I can't do anything about it. But calling people pussies and losers, dude, like, come on, man, Matt. And I know you've been watching me, bro. Like, you're a fan of the show. You've been watching, but don't go down that road, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all Bills Mafia here for the most part. I'm sure there's some Bronco fans in here right now and excited about the win. I haven't gotten to all your chat yet, but no, bro. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like, we're all fans at the end of the day, man. We're all hurting for the loss. You know, that sucks. Let me get to some of your super chats real quick. A couple did come through, and man, a matter of fact, a lot. And I apologize. Let me get to, golly, man, I'm missing so much here. Hold on, guys. You guys are, a lot of chats are coming in, and I want to get to all of them. Let me get the super chats real quick too, and I'll get back to your questions. All right, real quick, super chat coming in. Let me hit that real quick. Bills train horn crew. Coming in from Tim Hicks, says, tough loss, boys. People can blame the refs if they want, but you can't turn the ball over 5 times and win. Josh Allen did not play well, and guys didn't make plays. I agree, Tim. I'm not blaming the refs. I didn't think the refs did a good job overall. I thought it was some bullshit calls down the stretch, but that's not the reason why we lost. The reason why we lost is exactly what you said. I didn't think Allen played terrible, though. I didn't think he played great either, right? He did make plays, and actually, Tim, he made plays down the stretch where receivers just simply dropped the ball. They don't drop the ball. They were in field goal range. We are talking differently right now, right? We're talking what a victory, what a comeback win. Allen needs to be cleaner next week in the AFC Championship game, but that's not the case. Players did not help the calls out either when it was in the clutch time, right? In the clutch, right? They weren't clutch at all, right? When the game mattered. Let me get the there is a couple more super chats I want to get to as well, real quick, and I'll get back to everybody. I apologize. I'm way behind. I'm by myself right now. Normally, Mikey is helping me with this, so I do apologize for that. Here we go, another super chat. Jack coming in, can't believe Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet. I can't believe it either. Unfortunately, he has not. And what's really brutal is Bo Nix or, Drake May or C.J. Stroud's going to get in there first. All way younger quarterbacks than Josh Allen. And new head coaches, by the way. New head coaches for the most part, at least for each team, right? And our coach has been here 9 years, going on 10. Here comes another super chat real quick, and then I think that's it for the end of the super chats. Tricks coming in. How was that not a catch by Cooks? His knee was down. See, yeah, dude, I agree with you too. I got to know the rules better than that. They were trying to explain a little bit. To me, it looked like he was down. I don't understand. He caught the ball. The guy, they both fell to the ground. You would think that would be down by contact at that point, but they were saying, I guess he didn't have full control when he hit the ground, though it seemed like he did. So since the ball was moving, it's considered an interception, which is, I guess but I really didn't. I thought the ball was secure as they both hit the ground, and then the guy swiped the ball, and then it rolled off. But it is what it is. We're not going to be able to go back and fight that call. But either way, Cooks needs to catch that. Also, Cooks earlier later in that game, I forget what play it was, didn't make the catch inbounds either on the sideline. I don't want Cooks back either. Like, Cooks was, he was an okay pickup, you know what I mean? But we need better. Steve Lynn, lots of teams do. Everyone eats. Rams do it. KC does it. Bears do it. They just do it in a way better cast. Yeah, I agree, Steve. This kind of roster and coach can only go so far. You know what, Steve? That's a great comment. I totally agree with you. I know we don't always see eye to eye, but that is a perfect comment. And you are absolutely right. And I try to tell people that too. The everybody eats thing is a lot of teams do that. I mean, every team does that for the most part, right? Every team gets their players, everyone else involved for the most part, right? The difference is they have usually a go-to guy, right, on their team. We never had that, or we did have that, and we let him go because him and McDermott weren't getting along. And then when Joe Brady became OC, they wanted to shift things over and do things differently, and Stephon Diggs wasn't feeling that, and unfortunately, they moved on from Diggs. So yeah, man, we never landed on them. Let's see here. McDermott will be fired eventually, just like Tomlin. Yeah, but Tomlin wasn't fired; it was mutual. But maybe we'll see. I don't know about that either. The only question is how many of Josh Allen's years do you want to waste? Once we don't have a quarterback, what can I strongly agree too, Steve, and that's a problem too. Like. What's more important, guys, the coach or a franchise elite quarterback? For me, it's the franchise elite quarterback. We've given McDermott way more time than he should have gotten, in my opinion. Way more time, and they are going to continue to give him time. And I just don't understand why, especially when we're having the same results year in, year out. Like there's no different results here, guys. It's the same thing. It's the same story. We're sitting here talking about the same things, and we're going to go through the same thing in the offseason about what we need on defense. We need to like it's we need to receive, like it's the same thing, and we usually don't correct it. We don't fix it. The defense always stays the same. I also don't like his scheme. I think his scheme is broken. There's a lot about McDermott I don't like. I don't think he's the worst coach ever, but his time for me has been over here. And you got to get a new voice here. You got to get a new leader in that locker from a coach aspect, right? You got to have somebody with a different mindset, right, than Sean McDermott. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm not putting this all on Sean McDermott, this loss today. This is a team loss, in my opinion. Sean wasn't out there turning the ball over, fumbling the ball. But this is also the product he put on the field, right? This is the product that he wanted out there. This is the offense that he wanted, right? And it failed us. This is the defense that he wanted, right? A defensive line that can't stop the run. Right? Undersized defensive line. This is what he wanted. So, yeah, you know what I mean? These are his players. So, end of the day, that's why I feel like this is just, you got to move on from McDermott, but they're not going to. The window has officially closed for Josh. This was the year, no Mahomes, Burrow, or Lamar. Tommy touchdown. It's never closed when you have a quarterback like that. I would say this was a very good opportunity for Josh and the Buffalo Bills to get to a Super Bowl because they were. Now I want to, I do want to exclude Lamar from that because we've handled Lamar twice in the playoffs, Tommy, and hey, another Tommy. And I don't think Lamar being in the playoffs would have been a problem. Like we're 2-0, right, against Lamar. Burrow hasn't been in the playoffs for 3 years, right? He's made the playoffs once against us. He beat us, yes, but that was years ago. Even him, I wouldn't really put him there. I would say the Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs were probably the biggest factor. Them not being in the playoffs, we had an opportunity, absolutely. But on the flip side, Tommy, this was also our worst offense going into the playoffs. We had nobody. But to say the window's closed when you have an elite franchise quarterback in Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, some will argue top three, number one, number two, number three. The category, the tier, right? Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, and Burrow is probably 4. But it's never closed when you got a guy like that. But it's also not wide open, right? You got teams like the Patriots. That obviously already chased us down, won the division this year. They're only going to get better. They got a lot of money on the cap. We are strapped at the cap. So, yeah, they're going to keep building their roster, keep getting stronger. And yeah, I mean, Buffalo trash. Okay. Not necessarily. I mean, I don't know if you're a Bronco fan, but it took you overtime to beat us. Congratulations if you're a Bronco fan. But come on now, trash. Once again, people saying we're trash. And I don't know if you're a Bills fan or Broncos fan, you're just whatever. But I got to strongly disagree with you on that. We wouldn't have gotten where we got if we were trash. We wouldn't have taken the number 1 seed. Right? They were the number 1 seed. Are we on the same page here, guys? The Broncos were the best team in the AFC this year. Okay, we took them to overtime, right? And we had a chance to win that game. We definitely did. If players were to didn't drop the ball there, we had an opportunity to win that game. And you know what? If the Bills go and win that game, I'm not gonna come on here and be like Broncos trash. Broncos are trash. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. I would be such a fake ass NFL fan for saying that, because that's simply not true. So once again, I don't know if you're a Broncos fan or Bills fan just pissed off, but that's not true. And same thing with Jacksonville. I didn't come on here when we beat Jacksonville. It was like, oh, Jaguars trash. No, it came down to the very end. Right? We won by 3 points. Denver today won by 3 points. Took an overtime. We're trash, right? So it took you overtime to beat a trash team. What's that say about your team? So no, that's bullshit. And if you're a Bills fan, you know that's bullshit. Were we a great team this year? No. You know the reason why we were in the playoffs, mainly because of Josh Allen, because we have an elite quarterback. But calling the total team trash, I would disagree. I would disagree with that. Dude, I like your bedroom decorations. Look on the right side. At least we didn't miss wide right. Yeah, true. And I give credit, by the way, to Matt Prater. Matt Prater came out clutch. Dude, that field goal was straight down the middle. I don't think he'll be back next season, but I got to say Matt Prater was a very good signing for us, the Buffalo Bills this year. A lot of guys too, and he was a veteran. He was oldest kicker in the league, 42, 44. He stepped up big time, man. He made a clutch field goal at the end there to get us into overtime. Shout out to Matt Prater. Shout out to Trey White. I know he, got that 15-yard, penalty at the end, but the game was over by that point. They had an easy field goal. It doesn't matter. He was just pissed off. I thought Trey was a good addition this year for a vet. I thought Shaq Thompson did a good job this year as a vet. But the Bills need to start moving on from some players. Matt Milano, this was his last year. I highly doubt they bring him back. We got concerns at linebackers. Terrell Bernard just cannot stay healthy. It's been the story of him since he's been here. We gave him the extension, and of course he gets hurt right away. This year was devastating. We're going to have to find a safety if it's not Hancock. They had no faith in Hancock in this game. They started Cam Lewis. By the way, Cam did pretty good. And shout out to Denver too. When Cam went out of the game, they attacked right away. They attacked what's his name? The safety that came in, our newly safety. I forget his name now. They attacked him right away. And then when Trey went out for a couple series, or actually right away, when he got hurt, they attacked Dane Jackson for a touchdown. Right away, touchdown. So shout out to Denver for seeing that and making a play when needed. So that is the difference between head coaching. Their head coach over there, very good head coach, right? He saw the weakness right away. He attacked the weakness, and they scored right away. Right away. Oh, Savage. Darnell Savage. Sorry. Savage got picked on right away. They went right after him. They went right after Dane Jackson. So, yeah. Tommy not kneeling before the half is what cost the Bills game. 16 seconds left with no timeout. Yeah, I have no idea what they were doing. None. I'm with you. 100%. That's not even on Josh. Like, Josh, I don't know what Josh was doing with the ball either, though. Like, stupid on his part. But why would you push that? Why? With I think it was 22 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Why are you going for it there? Why are you why are you being aggressive right there with 22? There's just not enough time, in my opinion. Not only that, we don't have weapons in 22 seconds. We weren't the Chiefs. We don't have Tyreek Hill, right, where you can go deep on a guy like that who's reliable. We don't have a Travis Kelce who you can go deep and is reliable and can make a catch, right? So what were they thinking? I really don't know, right? Like, and once again, that's on coaching. That's stupid coaching. And that falls on McDermott. It's like the Jays losing the World Series because everybody knew they had no closer, and the closer gives up the big home run. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm a Tigers fan, and I thought they took out in the playoffs against the Blue Jays. They took out Skubal way too early. I think it was the Blue Jays, right? But man, they took him out way too early, and it cost us the game there. I thought he did a great job. No, it wasn't the Blue Jays. Who was it that we took? God, I feel like I'm just losing my mind because of this game. They faced the Blue Jays actually, but God, I can't believe I'm forgetting the team that we. Anyways, they should have kept Skubal in. They took him out early, and we gave him a run right after, and that was the game. Let's see here. Defense could not get a sack. Nope, they could not. They could put pressure, but just bad. Cooks up the middle every first down. Yeah, what is he fucking doing? I'm with you. Like once again, predictable. Doing it running Cook in overtime every same play. Like why? Even Romo was like, what a waste of a down. Just you're wasting a down for no reason. Oh man. I'm trying to get all to your chats. I'm way behind, guys. Way behind. And I apologize if I can't get to everyone. Tommy, we're all drunk and mad. Don't take... I'm not. Dude, I'm not taking things personal. I'm just... The thing about me is, guys, I don't bite my tongue. I'm very honest in my feeling and my thinking about life in general, right? If someone says something, I'm going to respond, right? If I don't agree with you guys, a comment, I'm going to respond to the comment. I'm also going to tell you it's strictly opinions. You're more than welcome to say what you want to say here. You fan how you want to fan, but I'm going to respond to your comments, right? And I'm going to tell you why I feel your comment is, in my opinion, is wrong or right or however that may be. But yeah, man. Let's see here. God, I'm so behind. Holy shit, guys. Guys, I am like way behind. I am so sorry. That play was still on Josh. Throw it deep. See if you get a PI. Broncos threw it up deep. And yeah, and they did it. Yeah, I agree with you. But Randy, he did. He threw it up deep. Matter of fact, he threw it deep and he got to the receiver's hands both times. Right? Let's be real here. He got it to Hardman. It should have been a catch. He got it to Cooks. It should have been a catch. Both receivers let him down. So I'm not blaming Allen at all. Allen put it there. They need to come down with the ball. Plain and simple. And that's the difference between having a go-to receiver and having bum-ass receivers. I shouldn't say bum-ass receivers in the NFL. Let me take that back. Having value receivers, right? Thrifty receivers, right? Thrift store, right? Type of receivers where they're in the bargain bin, right? And this is what you get when you buy shit out the bargain bin, right? It's the reality, right? That's why top receivers get top money because they are clutch, right? We don't have that. We did not have that all season long. We didn't have it last season. And that's why I was shocked that the Bills didn't address it this offseason when they knew they had a problem at receiver when they traded for Amari Cooper last year. But yet they went into the season, once again, bargain shopping, thinking Josh Palmer would be the answer. No idea why they thought that when Josh Palmer was the third best receiver in LA. Like, he's going to be our one? Are you fucking kidding me? He's the separator? He's the go-to guy? Boy, they quickly found out that wasn't the case. No. That's a girl, and that's Princess, by the way. She's a good girl. She's just, she knows daddy's upset. The NFL don't like us. No, they don't. They don't. Let's see here. Josh, what Was it going to get a PI call in Denver? They already didn't call. Yeah, look, I'm not going to blame. Look, I thought the refereeing was poor today, but I'm not going to blame the refs for the loss. I can't. I refuse to. I thought, listen, every team, they get kind of hosed on some calls. I thought the last two PIs were ridiculous, but look, at the end of the day, that's not the reason why we lost. We lost because we had. What did we have? 4 or 5 turnovers. Trailing at the half. Like, all the things I said we can't do, we did. Right? You're not going to win many games like that. It's just the way it's the way it works. We had 5 turnovers to 1. 5 to 1. And we still went into overtime. Right? Imagine if we keep it clean. Right? Even if we have 1 turnover, maybe 2, 5. The fact that we even went into overtime is crazy to me. Right? So when you look at that stat alone, you should be like, damn, the Broncos should have ran all over the Bills with 5 turnovers. But it simply was not the case, right? The Buffalo Bills fought like they fought all year, and they came up short. And that's why I told you guys this year, in the regular season, we were 4-5 when trailing at the half. Now we are 4-6 when trailing at the half. And that 6th game ended our season. We weren't this great second half team. As far as comebacks, we are better in second half. Sure. Okay, fine. But we didn't necessarily win all those games. We lost 6 of them. You know how many games we won when ahead at half? 7. No, 8. 8. I mean, guys, like, yeah, I'd much rather be ahead, right? But yeah, felt bad for Josh seeing that. I didn't even watch it yet. I'm sure he's down and out. I saw him on the sideline when the PI got called, and he just looked defeated. Done. I'll be honest with you guys. When he had the interception, which isn't his fault, Brandon Cooks needs to come down with that. You need to fight for that ball better, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, Brandon Cooks, by the way, terrible hands. I thought he had better hands throughout his career. I don't know what happened with him, but he's just not strong at all. And he should have never got that ball taken away from him, period. So that's not on Josh, but yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, after that interception, honestly, guys, I just felt like that was it, man. I felt like our defense was going to crack at that point, and it did. It cracked. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm not either, really, but come on now. Some calls were bad. No, for sure, but can't... I'm not going to put this on the refs, man. We should have won the game. Players should have made catches when they could have. They didn't, and that's the reason why we're sitting here talking about a Buffalo Bills loss right now and turnovers. Do you think the Pats will win tomorrow, Tommy? Hey, what's up, Christy? I have it really close. I do. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, to be honest with you. I do have the Texans winning, but I could also see the Pats winning. I said 17-13, I believe, was my score prediction on that game. I think Houston will win that game, but Patriots could win. They absolutely can. They're a well-rounded team. I just feel like Texans defense is playing at an elite level. I didn't like what I saw from May last week with the fumbles. The Chargers were actually putting a lot of pressure on him, causing him to play a little sloppy. Though he played better down the stretch, I just think Houston's a different animal. And that's why I'm kind of putting them with the slight edge. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots win it. But I do think that game's going to come down to the very end. It's going to be like a 3 or 4 point swing. I agree, buddy. Just meant that play before the half only where Josh held the ball, fumbled. He also should have thrown it. Yeah, I agree. Once again, you know what Josh was doing there, Randy? He was just trying to do too much. He was trying to put the team on his back like he did really most of the season. Right? When we talk about Josh Allen, guys, like, let's be real here. Josh Allen put this team on his back. He has. for many years, right? And I think a lot of you guys missed that. You guys kind of overlooked that. Josh carries this team as far as he can carry it. It's unfair to think that Josh, should play perfect football week in, week out. That Josh should not have, he should still win even though he doesn't have a weapon surrounding, that's not on his team, right? That he doesn't have playmakers, right? It's a little unfair, but it is what it is. That lies on Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott to figure that out. Poor coaching, poor quarterback, poor running back, poor. Yeah, I agree. Like today was, I want to say poor quarterback though. Let's be real. Josh Allen wasn't god awful in this game. Josh Allen did some dumb shit, but Josh Allen also put us in a situation where we could have won the game. Did Josh Allen drop the ball there at the end of the game? Did Josh Allen have another drop at the end of the game there? Bro, he threw that ball right where he couldn't have handed it to him better. Both receivers had opportunities to come down with the ball. Let's be real, right? They didn't, right? Just like last year with Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid had an opportunity last year against the Kansas City Chiefs to come down with that ball. He did not, right? How many times did we see the Kansas City Chiefs throughout their Super Bowl runs, players make plays when needed for Patrick Mahomes? How many times did we see it? We saw it left and right? Guys just stepping up, making plays for Patrick Mahomes. Allen has not had that. He really hasn't. Guys have not been there when Allen needed them most. And I feel like, once again, Allen taking the team on his back, doing everything he can, got a little sloppy, try to play hero ball. But do you blame him? Guys, once again, what can the man do when he has no help? When this is the help they gave him. And Allen's a good dude. He's never going to sit there in a press conference, and I haven't watched yet, but he's never going to sit there and be like, bro, like, this is what they gave me. What can I do? I threw the ball perfectly to McCole. I threw the ball great to Brandon Cooks. They dropped the ball. He's not going to say that. You know what he's going to say? He's going to do what Josh Allen does. My fault. I need to be better. I'm sure of it. I haven't even watched it yet. I've been here with you guys. I need to be better, right? I can't do this, right? You know what he's going to say in the offseason? It wasn't Joe Brady's. Joe Brady's offense was fine, right? It was me. I needed to do this. I need to do this better. I need to do this better, right? I thought the receivers were fine. I love this team. I love my players. That's what he does. He's a good guy. He's never going to ever throw anybody under the bus. But it's not... It's the responsibility of Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane to handle their business and not have Josh have to come out and say, you got to do better for me. Because he's not going to do it. He's not going to throw any teammate under the bus. He didn't even throw Kelvin Benjamin under the bus, right? When he needed to be thrown under the bus. So they got to make that decision. They need to go out there and get help for Josh. It's unfortunate. Listen, if this is Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning was different, right? Peyton Manning would say something. Aaron Rodgers, right? These are two different kind of quarterbacks, right? Tom Brady, right? But Josh Allen's just, maybe he's too nice. Maybe he does need to get a little chip on his shoulder and speak up. Maybe the time is now. You're going into year 9 next year for Josh Allen. Year 9. Year 10 with McDermott. Like, when is enough enough? When do you finally put your foot down and be like, bro, like, something has to change. Something has to change. And I don't know if I don't know if he'll ever do that. And that might be something that he'll regret the day he retires if he doesn't win a Super Bowl. He may look back and go, damn, you know what? Maybe I should have voiced my opinion. Maybe I should have said to the owner, it's either him or me. I'm not in this business to not win a Super Bowl, right? I didn't work as hard as I did have to not win a Super Bowl. I mean, he hasn't even been to a Super Bowl, right? Like, how many years, how many seasons are going to go by with them ignoring the offense and just kind of, putting Band-Aids on the offense and just thinking we got Josh, we're fine. And it's just not right. It's unacceptable. And I really do wish, I hope he steps up and says something, because trust me, guys, I think at the end of the day, Josh Allen's going to look back and he's going to regret not saying something. We got another super chat coming in. Let me hit that real quick. Give me 1 second on that one. I like to get to all your super chats as well. All right, let me hit that Bills train horn. All right, thank you for the super chat. I don't know, maybe he's not on Mahomes or Brady. Had the ball end of the game 3 years in a row and didn't come through. Okay, so this is, I'm glad you're bringing this up, because I did say this, about 20 minutes ago. So here's the deal. When we talk about Mahomes and we talk about Brady, right, they still needed players to step up for them as well. Remember, the NFL is the ultimate team sport. You need everybody doing their job, right? When we talk, let's go with Mahomes, right? Tyreek Hill stepping up big against us, right? Travis Kelce always stepping up big. And then you got all the other guys doing their 111, right? Now you go to Josh Allen. How many drop passes, right? Dalton Kincaid last year. I'm just going by last year. Dalton Kincaid had an opportunity. We could have kept that drive going. This year, McCole Hardman, Brandon Cooks, drop, right? We're driving to take a potential 14-3 lead. James Cook fumble, right? I'm just pointing stuff out. You have to have your teammates step up too. It's not about one guy, right? If you look at the Giants, when the Giants beat New England, right? It wasn't all about Eli Manning. He needed players to make hella catches, right? The guy that made the helmet catch, like, stuff like that. You need players to step up also, right? You can't just do it by yourself. So I kind of disagree on that take where we're like pushing them to the side and be like, well, Mahomes and Brady. You know why Mahomes and Brady did it? It's because they had guys that they could count on, right? Brady could count on Wes Welker. Brady could count on the other the slot guy that they had there forever. He could count on Gronkowski. Right, he had guys that were reliable, that he knew, okay, this is important now. It's a third down or it's a fourth down. Who am I going to? Right? Who's my go-to guy? Who can I trust here? I know I could trust Gronk. Oh, Edelman. I know I could trust Edelman. I know I could trust Welker. Walker, whatever. Wes Welker. Right? I know I could trust these guys. Right? Josh Allen gets in the huddle. Who's he trusting? Brandon Cooks? McCole Hardman? Keon Coleman? Guys, like, let's be real here. When we're talking, if you want to go that route, where are the surrounding cast of characters that's helping Allen out in these moments? When we need a play to happen, these guys are actually stepping up. Now, if Allen was throwing, let's say this last drive here, he was just terrible. He didn't put the ball, way away from McCole Hardman, way away from Brandon Cooks, just was an awful. Then I would say, okay, you know what? That's more on Allen. He didn't put the ball where it needed to be, but that wasn't the case. So I gotta disagree on that take. You need help. You have to have help in this sport. You can't just rely simply on your quarterback. You can't. We got another super chat coming in. Let me hit that Bills train horn. Thank you so much. I hate talking about weapons again. I saw Patrick Mahomes win a Super Bowl and MVP yes, and that's my point, though. And that's why I just stopped. I'm telling you, these guys all stepped up when needed, right? And yes, they weren't superstars, right? Especially when Hill moved on, when they traded Hill from Kansas City. But let's be real, they had a Hall of Fame tight end, which we do not. Right? They still had Travis Kelce. You forget about him, but you shouldn't, because Travis Kelce is clutch, right? So let's not forget about that. And then also, players stepped up, even the no names. What players have stepped up for Josh Allen, especially recently, that you can go, man, whoo, that guy stepped up. Crucial moment, He stepped up for Allen. He made that catch. He made that difficult catch. Who? When? You know why? We had opportunities today. Brant, right? Nope. So don't tell me that Mahomes didn't have those guys stepping up. Just like I mentioned about Eli Manning and that team that beat the Patriots. He had players step up in the biggest moment. Guys that are nobodies. I don't even know where those guys went, right? But they made plays. They made plays when needed. Randy coming in with Super Chat. Let me hit that Super Chat. Man, Randy, thank you so much for that Super Chat, man. Big Super Chat there. And I really appreciate it, man. You were awesome all year. A loyal subscriber to the show, always here. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say I appreciate your kindness all season. Great show. No one else works to give a chat the voice like you. Another tough Bills season. Questionable coaching, and Bean did a bad roster. Keep up the great work. Wishing you and Mikey and your dog, my princess, the best. Thank you so much, Randy. That means a lot. And guys, I'll be here. I'll continue to be here, rocking with you guys. Year in, year out, man. We got to figure this out, right? Eventually, we got to figure this shit out in Buffalo. And I'm with you guys. I'm with you. I'm with a lot of you frustrated fans right now, where you're to the point where it's like it won't be figured out as long as Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane are here, right? Like, I'm with you to a point, but I'm also a huge fan of my team. So, I just know that Terry Pegula is not going to do the right thing. He's not going to get rid of Sean McDermott. He's not. You know what? I can see Brandon Beane going before Sean McDermott. And as long as Sean McDermott is here, I'm with you guys. Like, the chances of us going to a Super Bowl, the chances of winning a Super Bowl are probably slim to none, because the voice is stale, right? This defense is bad. The scheme is broken. His philosophy is bad. There's going to come a point where the players don't buy into what McDermott is preaching anymore, if they haven't already. Now, I'm sure some players who played for McDermott for a long time, like Trey White, like Josh Allen, guys have been here for a while, right? Ed Oliver, guys have been here a long time, right? I'm sure they all have a special place in their heart for Sean McDermott. I'm going to tell you right now, man, life goes on, and they'll get over it if they fire Sean McDermott. Absolutely they will. Let me get to the next Super Chat real quick. Oh, did I already get to that one? Or maybe I didn't. I'll still hit the train horn. I don't know if I got to that, but I'll read it again. Mahomes beat Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship in 2022 after Burrow beat the Bills. And the only healthy receivers in the second MVS and McCall Hardman. Yes, but you know what? McCall Hardman made plays. MVS made plays. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, I'm not necessarily saying that every team needs to have a stud wide receiver, but I'm going to say this to that point, and I'm going to bring up another point. They also have Andy Reid, one of the best coaches in the NFL, one of the smartest minds, offensive-minded head coaches in the NFL. Him and McVay, right? Like, geniuses. Do we have an offensive-minded coach that is even on their level, that could scheme things up for these receivers who are subpar? I said it all year, and I'll say it again. One of my biggest flaws that Joe Brady has is not understanding what he has in the room, meaning not understanding player strengths and weaknesses. Andy Reid does it beautifully. Sean McVay, beautifully. The best offensive-minded coaches or OCs know what they have. They know how to use them in the system, and they scheme them up for their strengths, right? Brian Dable. We had Isaiah McKenzie here getting, 500 yards almost one season. Something like that, right? Isaiah McKenzie, who's not even in the league anymore, right? By the way, we had guys here with speed. Joe Brady did not know how to use them. He didn't understand their strengths. We had Elijah Moore here. He didn't do anything with his speed. Nothing. Curtis Samuel, he did nothing with his speed when Curtis Samuel was healthy. KJ Hamler, we waived him. Guy's a 4-3 guy. No need. We have no need for those guys. No need. So you get what I'm saying. That's my point. You can make a team work like that, like a Mahomes where they don't have much. By the way, Mahomes still had Kelsey. But let's say the receiving crew, not the greatest. They're not top guys. But if you have an Andy Reid, you have a genius OC, a guy that understands, okay, I got McCole Hardman here. What does he do well? Okay, I got MVS here. What does he do well? Let's do this. Let's dial it up for here. And it worked out great. That's what you do. Joe Brady never did that well here. He didn't understand how to do that. My God, he didn't even know how to get Stephon Diggs involved when Joe Brady took over. Why do you think Stephon Diggs' numbers plummeted when Joe Brady took over? It was a huge difference between Ken Dorsey and Joe Brady. Ken Dorsey knew how to at least get your playmakers involved. Joe Brady, on the other hand, didn't understand that philosophy. And that's where we're here, right? That's why we're here. Let's hit another super chat. Appreciate your super chat. He also had a high ankle sprain in that game, limping around the field. We have to hold our... Listen, I'm with you, and I'm not saying Allen gets a total pass here. Like, I think people miss that as well. Allen absolutely made mistakes here. Terrible turnover before the first half. Awful turnover in the second half. By the way, though, offensive line didn't help him out much either there, but it still was a turnover. Poor interception, the one that he floated in the second half. That was an awful throw. So, yeah, I don't blame him on the last interception, though, by the way. That was, for me, that's all on Brandon Cooks. You got to come down with that, right? Man up, bro. Man the fuck up. Hold that goddamn football when you hit the ground. Don't be a little bitch and let the football go. But I'm with you. Of course, you got to hold your quarterback accountable too, but it's a team game. And it boiled down to, at the end, who's going to step up and help out the quarterback? Who's going to step up and help out your quarterback who's been basically, holding this team together all season long, who has guided this team to the playoffs pretty much by himself? Who is going to step up when needed? Nobody. Brandon Cooks drop. Once again, McCole Hardman drop, right? We're in field goal range. Are we missing something here, guys? McCole Hardman comes down with that, game over more than likely, right? Brandon Cooks comes down and mans the fuck up and holds the ball, game over. Probably going for a field goal. We're not talking about a loss. You got to have guys step up too, right? For as poor as Josh Allen played at times in this game, he also came up clutch at times. So, yes, he's to be held responsible in the team in this loss as well. I would say this is a total team loss. It's not a Josh Allen only loss. Oh my God, Josh Allen. Listen, we would have been up 10-3, 14-3 if James Cook didn't fumble the ball on that drive, right? It started right there, right away with turnovers. Let's be real. So I just hear excuses. It's not excuses, bro. I'm gonna still hit that train horn. I'm still hit that train horn because Look, I don't do excuses here, bro. But you could fan how you want, and it's your opinion. At the end of the day, if you feel that way, listen, it is what it is. I'm not going to, I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to sit here and try to shove it down your throat that you're wrong. I'm just telling you, it's not excuses, right? I'm not giving excuses. I'm giving you the way I see it and the reality of it. The reality is this, and look, she's pissed. The reality is this. Josh Allen is an elite quarterback. He's a quarterback that didn't have a lot to work with this season. He's a quarterback that, they refuse to get help, especially even at the trade deadline. And end of the day is, we expect greatness all the time when it comes to Josh Allen. Josh Allen wasn't great today. He made mistakes. He turned the ball over. But if you're going to only say that Josh Allen was to blame for this, you're wrong. Players dropped the ball. Players fumbled. James Cook fumbled. Plenty of drop passes. The defense wasn't perfect. Defense gave up 33 points, right? There's a lot to go around the room here. But I look at it as an overall thing. Josh Allen carried this team to the playoffs. Josh Allen has carried this team to the playoffs, in my opinion, almost every single season. And I do not want to sit here and be like, Josh Allen is the reason why we lost this game. Josh Allen is the reason why we lost last year. It's not. It is not. And it's not excuses. Players have to step up. Players need to be clutch in big moments, and they haven't been. Yeah, I would say his deep throw, he needs to work on, by the way. Allen, his deep throw is just off at times. And it was weird that he floated that last pass when he should have just thrown it like he normally does on a rope. He had, I forget who that was, but he had him wide open. And he floated it, which was odd. And it gave, the Broncos defender got underneath it. I mean, it was honestly an easy pick. Mayo was a player coach too, but he was too buddy with the team. Yeah. Yeah. I know what she wants. It's freaking blows, dude. And Bo Nick's ankle needs and Nick's ankle needs surgery, so that's that. Whoever wins tomorrow is going to the Super Bowl. Man, he had a problem with it. I don't know about that. Nice dog. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bro. She's she's ready for me to get off here. Thank you. When you guys hired Vrabel, I knew he turned it around. Yeah. Great signing, by the way, for obviously Patriots. Getting him. The end of the first half has to be on McD, right? Let me hit that train horn. It 100% is on McDermott. Why are you, and I go back to it, why are you being aggressive with 20 seconds to go? I think it was like 22. When you don't have reliable receivers to get down the field that quick in 22 seconds. You just don't. So what are you thinking there? You're only down one score. I know it sucks, but you're getting the ball to begin the second half, right? Kneel the ball, go into halftime, do your adjustments, and come out the second half and try to tie that game. Instead, you get all that momentum swinging right back in Denver's way with a turnover. They score another 3 points. They score 3 points on top of the touchdown they just scored. Like, just a terrible way to end that first half. And also on Josh for being very careless with the football on that play. Honestly, Josh, what are you doing there? Right, you took off, fine. You got out of harm's way. Slide. There's no reason there. You should know how much time's on the clock. You're not going to do anything. You just killed a lot of time by running the ball anyways. Slide there, get out of the first half, and you didn't. You wanted to do too much, and that's Josh trying to do too much again. McDermott, we up 27-23. All your defense had to do was make one stop, but you call yourself a defense. Yeah, and they couldn't. And I'll say this too. Josh also missed the throw to Dawson Knox there at the end of or towards the end of the fourth quarter. And that was huge because if he connects there, that's a touchdown. We're going up 8, possibly 9 if they go for a 2-point conversion. And Josh simply overthrew him. Savage 23, Harmon, Samuel, all bums. Yeah. Look, I don't think Bean's a bum. I think Bean has done a good job here, but I also think that he has a lot of work to do. He has a lot of self-reflecting to do. I think he's done a very poor job in free agency, in my opinion. I'm kind of tired of his drafting philosophy, like what he thinks is, by hoarding picks, by trading down constantly, stockpiling picks, late round picks. It just doesn't make sense. You should be trading up. You need a playmaker at this point. You have your salary cap is maxed out. You need to go up in the draft, not backwards. You need playmakers. You need to get in the top 15, top 20. I don't care what you need to do, how many draft picks you need to trade away to get yourself a playmaker. Or you need to make a trade in the offseason and stop fucking around with these thrift store players, right? With these bargain bins. You're going to get exactly that, bargain bin type of players. No, Nick's out for season? Really? Bo Nix? That can't be. When did he get his ankle hurt? Is that accurate? Let me search that real quick while you guys are talking. That's wild if that's true. Let me see here. I mean, are we talking about? Oh my God, fracturing a bone in his ankle. Wow. That is a huge loss for Denver Broncos. Oh, who's their backup? Let me hit this super chat real quick. Wow. Thanks for the super chat. Just found out Nick's played on a broken ankle. Yeah, but let's not pretend that Josh Allen wasn't fucked up all season either. I get what you're saying. I get your point. And I don't know if he totally outplayed him. Did you see his second half stats? Bo Nix wasn't necessarily on fire. I think he had 23 yards at one point in the leading going into or almost done with the fourth quarter. He didn't have this unbelievable game. If we want to go through the stats, 26 of 46, 279, 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen, 25 of 39, 283, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions was on Brandon Cooks. Let's be real. That was terrible. The other was totally on him, but Josh Allen also had the 2 fumbles. Bo Nix did not. So, if you want to talk about a cleaner game, Bo Nix had a cleaner game. But if you want to talk about overall performance, I think they were relatively close. I got to be honest with you. I thought Josh Allen had a much better second half than Bo Nix did. But that is a huge loss for Denver. And yeah, what a waste, man. But look, it is what it is, man. Denver is going to need to figure it out. I don't know who their backup is. I guess I'll look right now. Let's see who Denver Broncos. Let's take a look at the roster. Jared Stidham, I guess, or Sam Illinger. I'm guessing it's going to be Stidham. I mean, I'm not a Broncos fan, so you guys tell me if you're a Broncos fan here or anybody knows that team better. But I think Stidham probably is the guy, but that's terrible. That's a huge loss for them. Injury happened on second to last play in overtime. Get the facts straight. Okay, listen, it's not about the facts. I didn't know. I had no idea when he got hurt. So if he got hurt at the end there in overtime, man, that's brutal. Bosa late hit did it really? Wow. Okay, so if that's interesting. On that, damn. Because the D-line couldn't pressure him for shit. No, I agree. Listen, getting to the quarterback has been an issue for this team for the longest time. Honestly, almost forever since Sean McDermott has coached his team. It's absolutely ridiculous. The scheme is broken. I never was a big fan of it to begin with. It needs to. That's another reason why I feel like we need to move on. We have a defensive-minded head coach whose defense usually fails us in the biggest moments, constantly. You're going in year 9, where this is year 9, actually. You should expect one of the best defenses in the NFL by year 9 with a defensive-minded head coach. If we had an offensive-minded head coach, you would expect by year 9 your offense should be pretty fucking good. Right? Let's be real when we talk about this. If Sean McDermott was our defensive coordinator, he would have been fired years ago. Fucking years ago. Matter of fact, Sean McDermott would have fired Sean McDermott. Right? You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. So, you know what's going to wind up happening? He's going to move on from Babbage, right? This is what Sean McDermott does. He likes to throw people under the bus. So, Joe Brady's already leaving, so he can't throw him under the bus, right? So Joe Brady will probably just leave on his own, get a head coaching job. Bobby Babbage, more than likely, will not be DC next year. I have a feeling, right? So he's going to kind of throw him under the bus, right? It'll be the next guy up, that he promotes within. Of course, he's not going to go out and promote hire a GM that's worthy of being the DC that can actually change this defense. No, because Sean McDermott wants it his way. He wants players his way that fit his scheme, right? He's not going to bring in an outsider that's going to go, yo, Sean, I want to do it this way. I don't really necessarily want a small defensive line. I think we should go bigger. I think we should get a true one tech next to Ed Oliver. Sean's going to go, really? Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're not the DC for me, bro. Like, he's not going to accept that. It's just not going to happen. He's going to want yes men, right? So yes men are going to be younger guys that's in already on the coaching staff that's going to, want the opportunity to be DC, but they're going to quickly learn that Sean McDermott loves to throw people under the bus, and that's what's going to happen. Comment was directed at the snarky super chat that dog jaw. Okay. Look, man, everyone's gonna fan how they want to fan. I think a lot of people are pissed off right now. I'm not happy. You know what I mean? But I'm also not going to sit here and make excuses, man. And by the way, when I say the things I'm saying, they aren't excuses. This is just a reality. This is just how we, analyze the team, right? Everybody does it, right? Every fan base does this. Every podcast for every fan base analyzes their team, breaks down their team. You have to. This is the only way. I'm not going to sit here and be like, we lost, we suck, see you guys later, I'm out of here. Like, that's not going to do it, right? We don't suck, right? We took the Broncos to beat us in overtime. They were the number one seed. I think, once again, people are forgetting that. They were the number one seed for a reason. And it took them to beat us in overtime. And look, the end of the day is, it's not about excuses. It's about the reality of things. This team, this offense especially, did not help Josh Allen. This offense, especially the receiver room, was a bunch of guys that just were average to slightly above average. I would say Shakir is good. Everybody else average to below average. You didn't get anything from Keon Coleman this year. You didn't get anything from Curtis Samuel. You got nothing from Joshua Palmer. You had to pick up Brandon Cooks from free agency. You barely got something from him. You got McCole Hardman. You barely got anything from him. I mean, come on, guys. The reality is sitting right there in your face. We got to do better, and that's not an excuse. That's a reality, right? And this is what every team faces in every offseason, right? Green Bay Packers fans are talking right now about what they need to do to improve, right? Why they lost the game, what they need to do, right? Every team is talking about what they need to improve on, why their season ended the way it did. And matter of fact, if you watch this channel, these are all things I've been saying since week one. So this isn't an excuse. This is things I've been saying that is a concern of mine from really after week one. I'll say after week one, I was already going, I love the win. I love that they fought back. I love that they beat Baltimore, but I'm very concerned. I said it right away. Right? The receiver room, yeah, they came on strong at the very end of that game, but they provided nothing through 3.5 quarters. And I don't know if the Bills will continue to get wins like that, right? That's a recipe for disaster. And I said it all year long. And that's why I was so heavily committed, or not committed. I was so all about for trading, making a trade at the trade deadline. And when it didn't happen, I was pissed. Because the reality is we needed a receiver. The reality is Josh Allen needed a go-to guy. And I'm not the only one that said this, right? I think, and by the way, you're going to hear this. You're going to hear this by all the, if you guys watch the national media, I barely watch them, but you're going to hear this from Colin Cowherd. You're going to hear this from Shady McCoy, who's been saying this as well. Josh has no help. He has no help. And that is true. He has no help. And the guys that we paid, or the guys that we drafted early, like Kincaid, just doesn't come up clutch when needed. Guys like Keon Coleman didn't come up clutch. Matter of fact, he was terrible in this game. God awful. Curtis Samuel, guy we paid 3-year contract. Terrible, right? Eric, the press conference was heartbreaking. Said he let his team down. I think this guy crying for help. Honestly, just give him some damn help. Yeah, and once again, man, shout out to Josh Allen too. He will always take the blame. That is a good dude there. I know you guys aren't happy with his performance today, but Josh Allen is a stand-up guy. I will always defend Josh Allen for being a stand-up guy. He will admit when he's wrong. He admits when he has a bad game, and he will never throw anyone under the bus. He will never say these guys need to make that catch. He just will not do it, right? I kind of wish he would at times, but it's not in his character. So he's always going to take the blame. He's always going to have that on him. And look, man, that comes with the territory. He's paid. He's highly paid, right? And quarterbacks and head coaches, they take the blame, right? They do. They take the blame and losses no matter what. That, once again, that comes with the territory. So I'm not totally feeling sorry for him because that comes with the territory and the money. But I'm just saying, from the outside looking in, they need to help Josh Allen, right? I'm speaking for him. Tommy, I pray Josh gets cut off the roster, gets traded. He won't. Josh is here to stay. He will retire a Buffalo Bill. Vader, and yes, you're right about Max and these other picks. Yeah, Max may not work out. I mean, 2 injuries in 1 year. We'll see. It's early. I'm not going to totally dog the pick yet. But that one right now, I'm on the fence about. I don't know if that's going to work out. But I also said that about Cole Bishop, and Cole Bishop actually turned things around. Cole Bishop had a very good season. So let's not jump on these draft picks right away, especially the new guys. Let's wait a little bit. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and see if, like, Harrison can have a bounce back year in year 2, right? He's going to have a whole offseason to get healthy, to get prepared. So we'll see year 2 what Max Harrison brings. Because we're going to need him. We're going to need a CB2. Obviously, Christian Benford is our CB1. I thought he played much better second half. I hope they bring back Trey for at least depth, right? Or at least to compete with Max again. But, yeah, we need better. We definitely need better for some of these guys. But, look, let's be real here. The only receiver we drafted 2. Khalil Shakir, I like Khalil Shakir. I have no problem with Khalil Shakir, but he's a slot guy, right? We need a vertical guy. We need an all-around receiver. We need a go-to guy. Keon Coleman is the other guy we drafted. Brant, it's not working out. You got to get rid of Keon Coleman. Unfortunately, it just did not work out. It's time to either draft a receiver, and I would want them to trade up and get themselves a playmaker, or you trade for one. You get rid of some draft picks. You need a playmaker here. The time is up. Let's see here. It's on Bean flat out. Yeah, listen. I'm not saying Bean is not responsible as well. Bean is absolutely responsible in this for the situation that the Buffalo Bills were in with the lack of weapons for Josh Allen. 100%. How come are not talking about the defense has 0 sack? Yeah, the defense was not good either. Absolutely, Robert. Listen, Robert, I thought the defense played better in the second half, but once again, they cracked when we needed them most. In overtime, and also players also cracked, right? Kind of like, isn't this familiar? This is becoming a thing here in Buffalo. Players not stepping up when they need to. Dalton Kincaid from last year. This year, Keon Coleman nowhere to be found in this game. Brandon Cooks dropping the ball for getting intercepted when he should have had that ball. Secure that fucking ball. What are you doing? Right? And McCole Hardman, come on, man. That's in your hands. You got to come down with that. Right? How are you dropping the ball? No one's even by you. Right? You hit the ground, and your body basically fumbled the ball away there or made it incomplete. You got to come down with that. You're an NFL receiver. You got to come down with those kind of plays. And he did not. Years past. Remember Stephon Diggs? Even Stephon Diggs dropped that ball against Kansas City. Had it right there. Dropped it. Right? Unacceptable. Come on, man. Josh Allen couldn't have dropped it in his hands better. Right? Dropped it. You know what I mean? So guys need to also come up clutch as well. It can't just be always on Josh Allen. Josh Allen needs to make the perfect throw. Josh Allen needs to make the perfect play. Josh Allen needs to scramble. He needs to do this. He needs to run people over. He needs to do this. He can't, has to be mistake-free. Eventually, he's going to make a mistake, right? Eventually, he's going to need somebody to step up for him. And we just don't get that a lot here. We don't. I felt like we got it in 2020 with Gabe Davis. I thought Gabe Davis was the guy there, right? But name a guy. Can you guys name a player? Let's be real here. Name a player after that game that actually stepped up in the playoffs in a crucial game, right? AFC Championship, whatever. Like Gabe Davis did in that 2020 game against the Chiefs. Name a player. Not 2020, I'm sorry, 2022. Or was it 2021? Either way. The championship game, or the division game. Sorry, the division game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Name a player that actually stepped up and had a game like Gabe Davis. I can't think of one. I can't. Nobody has come up clutch like that for Josh Allen, where Josh Allen was just, brother, going to him. He was reliable, making plays, no problem, no drops, just making plays when needed. Josh kept going to him. Boom, 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 boom. Has there been a guy since on this team that you can go, man, yeah, bro, that guy, whoo, he stepped up and he was clutch in that champ? No, there hasn't been. Even Stephon Diggs was a no-show later on, right? Let's be real here. We haven't had that guy, and we need to find that guy. 2021, yes, that was the game. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say 2020. 2021, 13-2 was the last game I can remember a player actually, helping Josh Allen, contributing, stepping up in the biggest moment. We haven't had it since, right? We just haven't. And I don't know why they continue to go on season after season after season thinking these guys that they're just picking up on the waiver wire, right, or in free agency, these one-year players are going to make a difference. They're not. And look, not only are they not, but we don't have the offensive coordinator to put them in better positions to succeed, right? And that was the other thing. Like Joe Brady did a terrible job with understanding these players, all right, and understanding what makes them, what their strengths are, dialing up plays that work for them. He just didn't do that. And by the way, he didn't do that in Carolina, and that was the reason why he was fired. Right, paying Palmer, Samuel, terrible. Awful. I agree. Awful. And when will we stop doing these 1-year contracts, 2-year contracts, 3-year contracts? They're pointless. Stop signing all these players. Go out there and get 1 or 2 really good needle mover quality players instead of getting 8 to 9 players on 1 to 2 year deals, and none of these guys are doing anything for you. None of them. I'm sick of that too. Stop with that. Let's start getting actual talent instead of getting bargain bin. Stop hoarding up bargain bin depth, because that's all we're doing. We're getting depth, and none of these guys are coming to clutch. How about Ogunjobi? Does anybody even bring up him? What a waste of a contract. Suspended half the season, does nothing when he gets on the field. Michael Hoyt, I have some faith. I think Michael Hoyt will bounce back, but as of now, that's a bad signing. As of now. Now, I like Michael Hoyt, but those are 2 other signings that didn't work out, right? As of now for Hoyt, but Ogunjobi got paid, did nothing. So, yeah, man. It just some bad decisions by Brandon Beane in free agency. I totally agree with you guys on that. Draft, I'm not so mad about it like you guys are. I think he has drafted some quality players on this team, some good players. The only thing I would say that I want to see different is for Brandon Beane to actually trade up instead of trading back. Try to get yourself back in the top 15, top 20, even not even top 20, top 15, top 10, and get yourself a quality player. Stop fucking around and trading back and just hoarding draft picks. Makes no sense. You're just going to keep continuing to get the quality you're getting out of the draft from these late round players. Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, the jump, I forgot about that. The red zone jump, terrible. Like, what are you doing there? But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I've been on here hour 40 minutes. What a disaster. It almost feels like a Sunday. Guys, I'm sorry, man. I feel your pain. I'm with you. It's a heartbreak whenever your team, loses. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills. But like I said, I kind of grew tough skin on this. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We're going to have to go into the offseason and hopefully make the right decisions. But I'll be here. I'll be here with you guys all year long. I'm not going anywhere. And I hope you guys are here too with me. I hope you guys continue to support the channel. I'm sorry if I, you felt like I kind of like, got offended by some of your guys' comments. I didn't. It was just, I don't bite my tongue. So if you guys comment something I disagree with, I'm going to tell you why I disagree with it. It doesn't mean that I'm necessarily, anything I say is the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, is the gospel, right? Like, it's just my opinion, but I'm going to speak my opinion. And just like you guys, I expect you guys to always voice your opinions. That's what this show is all about. I get you guys involved more than probably any other podcast. I'm constantly getting you guys involved because I want your guys' output. I want to know how you guys feel. But at the end of the day, look, I'm Bills Mafia for life, man. I'm Bills Mafia for life. I'm not jumping off the ship. No matter how much I hate Sean McDermott, no matter how much I'm angry with Brandon Beane, I'm a fan for life. I'm never going to leave. So I'll be here. So anyways, Bills Mafia, I love you guys. I will probably, I know I'll be back Monday night Uncensored at 10 o'clock with Mikey, so be here. Dan Mitchell, I'm not sure if we're going live tomorrow or Monday, but I'll be on with him in the morning show, so look out for that. Bills Mafia, I love you, and as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace!